Well, now we're past the winter solstice. There's more light, and it's time to get ready for our annual silent film with your Anchorage Symphony Orchestra. Welcome to Words on Music, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Charlie Chaplin and the Kid. This is a do not miss event, trust me. Now, The Kid is a 1921 American silent comedy drama film written, produced, and directed and starring Charlie Chaplin, and features Jackie Coogan as a little kid, the kid of the title, and as his sidekick, an adopted son. This was Chaplin's first full-length film as a director, and it was a huge success and was the second highest grossing film in 1921. It is now considered to be one of the greatest films of the silent era, and it was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry in 2011. The storyline is really cool, and I think it is helpful to know a little bit about the story before you see the movie for an event like this. The following was written by Charlie Chaplin, but I'm editing it for length. Listing the cast is the man, the woman, the tramp, and the policeman. And now we have the constituent elements of a drama. The story opens with the woman, whose sin was motherhood, leaving the maternity hospital with her infant child. As the gates close upon her, the attendant smiles cynically at the age-old tragedy. Wandering about aimlessly, the poor distraught mother spies a handsome limousine and scribbles a hasty note. You must love and care for this orphan child. And she places it on the car and hastens off. Half demented, she seeks a river into which she hopes to find oblivion. But as she mounts the parapet, she is restrained by the hands of a little baby who innocently pulls at her skirts. At once, the mother love is kindled in her breast, and she hurries back to get her own abandoned infant. But when she returns, the automobile has been stolen, and she swoons in pathetic despair. When the thieves driving the car through a slum district hear the wail of the infant, they carry the baby out in disgust and leave it beside a garbage can in a sordid alleyway. Charlie, the tramp, debonair in his shabby gentility, comes forth for his morning walk, and after escaping the usual litter dumped from windows above, hears the baby's cries and takes up the precious bundle and tries to find the mother. He is, of course, unsuccessful, and after trying in vain, he is compelled to take the infant to his garret room. And we see him struggling through all of the trials of vicarious motherhood, for alas, he has to act the part of the mother as well as father. 5 years pass. The child has grown to sturdy boyhood, and a great bond has grown up between him and his foster father. They have become inseparable partners in the affairs of life. And the child goes forth to break the neighboring windows while Charlie follows about as an itinerant glazier, innocently happening by shortly after all of these accidents. They do a thriving business in spite of the police being suspicious. But time has wrought other changes. Tried in the crucible of sorrow, the mother has risen to great heights as an opera singer. In spite of her material success, however, the mother hunger burns so strongly that she finds sole easement in visiting the children of slums to whom she becomes a godmother. On one occasion, she is playing with a little child by the curbstone, and Jackie opens a door and walks out. She smiles at him and gives him a toy, not knowing that the little fellow is her own son. She meets him often after that, quite unconscious of the mystic bond. And once, after a fight with a neighboring boy, she actually carried her son in her arms to his father, telling Charlie he must send for a doctor. The doctor arrives, and when he finds the boy is not Charlie's, he departs, saying the child must have proper care and attention. His idea is the county hospital or the poorhouse. He retains the slip of paper found on the baby and which Charlie has handed to him. The officials of the hospital arrive, but Charlie does not want them to remove Jackie, who is healing. After a hard struggle, the boy is removed and taken away in a car. But Charlie, by taking a shortcut over the roofs, rescues the boy from their clutches. The doctor has shown the mother the piece of paper, and she realizes that this kid is her own long lost boy, and she begins to search. Charlie and Jackie, now homeless, don't dare return to their garret, and so they go to a cheap lodging house. The owner of the place recognizes the boy from a description in the paper by his distracted mother, and when everyone is asleep, he steals the boy from the side of weary Charlie and takes him to the police. The police send for the mother, and Jackie is restored to her. Charlie wakes to find the boy is gone, and he's frantic and walks the street the rest of the night until he falls exhausted on his own doorstep. And he dreams. He sees the wretched slum transformed into a fairyland, plenty of everything to eat and drink to be had for the asking. No payment except love for whatever you need. His former friends and enemies are now all friends. All have wings and play harps and other celestial instruments. Jackie is there and he takes Charlie by the hand, and Charlie finds he also has wings, strong white wings, and he finds he can fly. But alas, sin creeps in, and Charlie becomes involved in a fight with his old enemy. He tries to fly away, but is ruthlessly shot down, 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 and awakens to find himself being shaken by a big policeman whom he has eluded. The policeman takes him by the collar and bundles him unceremoniously around the corner. But to his astonishment, he is hustled into a waiting automobile. He rubs his eyes and wonders if he's still dreaming. Nope. The car drives to a fashionable neighborhood, a large mansion. His escort alights, leads him to the door, and rings the bell. The door opens, and Jackie and his newly found mother drag Charlie in to stay with them for a while. And the door closes on the happy mother, Charlie, and the kid. This film made Jackie Coogan, who plays the little boy, who was then a vaudeville performer, into the first major child star of all the movies. It has been speculated that the depth of the relationship portrayed in the film may have connected with the death of Charlie's firstborn infant son just 10 days before production began. That's an amazing thing to know as you see the film. First National wanted to release the movie as 3 two-reel comedies, not a 7-reel feature-length film. But Chaplin insisted on having it be released as a complete work. After production, the film was caught up in the divorce actions of Chaplin's first wife, who sought to attach all of Chaplin's assets. But Charlie and his associates smuggled the raw film to Salt Lake City and edited it in a room at a hotel. To release the complete film and avoid it being part of his divorce, Charlie showed First National executives a cut of the film and negotiated a good contract. Chaplin eventually removed scenes he believed that were too sentimental for modern audiences and composed and recorded a new musical score for the film's theatrical reissue. This re-edited version of The Kid had its world premiere in 1972 in New York City, with Chaplin in attendance. So now I would like to just share a little bit of information with you about our rehearsal process to put this project together. Our previous music director, Randall Craig Fleischer, initiated our annual silent film series that would happen in January in the darkness to bring some laughter and some joy to Anchorage audiences. And it's always been something that the symphony players have enjoyed looking forward to and participating in. We get our folders a few weeks in advance. We have 3 rehearsals in the Atwood Concert Hall, not just to make sure the music is going to be as beautifully played as it can be, but also to assist with whoever is conducting at this point to synchronize exactly with the action of the film. So we have to be super focused on the stick for every beat to make sure everything will be synchronized and fit what magic can happen for the audience. When we do the performance, it's one of my favorite things of the year to hear the laughter coming from the audience onto the stage as we're playing. We can't see the film, so we don't know exactly what's going on at the moment that there might be a huge eruption. But it's such a pleasure to hear people reacting to what is historical art and great classic comedy. We look forward to sharing the kid with you, and there will be a couple of extra little surprises that I won't go into detail about. You have to come, but there will be some additional things that are very short and very fun, and then the full length feature of the kid. Join us in the Atwood Concert Hall for the unforgettable evening with Charlie Chaplin and a score that will enchant you to enjoy the film. And Happy New Year to all.